Sometimes I sort of reflect on all this and think it's pretty surreal that, like, now my buddy John is the lieutenant governor, and here we are where people are talking about things we couldn't have possibly sort of foreseen happening or being part of a conversation 15 years ago. And I'm still really encouraged about, like, what's going on. I like the way that things are growing, and I like who's participating, and I like who's being included in everything, and I like the sort of the place as it was, and its sort of important historic place in the area is still being very much observed, and so that's the story in a nutshell.
What do you hope for Braddock in the next 5 or 10
years? I'd like it to just continue on the sort of the course it's on. I mean, I think that people are feeling like they want to be here, and they, that there are sort of things growing, and people are excited to come down and participate in events or patronize businesses or sort of volunteer, and I think that these things sort of collectively work together to kind of grow a community. And so I don't have sort of like the kind of the big visionary plans that some people might kind of generate, but I just want a community that sort of people are excited to be in, and that people feel good about sort of like doing business in and living in and feeling safe in, and feeling like they're part of the community that that is around them, and that everybody is like I don't know, they're able to sort of marry their interests here, and kind of feel included, but also feel like there's opportunity here. This town still is really rough around its edges, and it's still sort of some of the problems that came with 30 years of sort of kind of abandonment and decay are deeply entrenched. And so I'm just hoping that we find ways to create sort of more opportunity here in the community for people who live here, and for people who are from somewhere else who want to come and do something here too. One of the sort of the obvious opportunities that we could sort of make of the conditions in Braddock, and the fact that sort of there was space down here that nobody wanted to occupy, was at least a recognition that maybe there wasn't nobody that wanted to sort of occupy space. You just kind of had to help them down here. And so artists, I think, are generally a group that are a little bit more sort of intrepid, and if you can help them sort of find raw space, that's the most precious commodity for them. And so early on, it was just about sort of a way to bring some people down and attract a little attention and get some positive activities down here. But then it was about sort of how that interfaced with the community too. And so, how that sort of helped this place grow. You can plug artists and art activities and creativity and those kind of positive things into youth programs, and sort of vacant lot reclamation, and sort of beautification of buildings. And so that's kind of like, that was the other effect of of art. And it's a great way to sort of engage people here. And there were artists here, and some, and you had to kind of, by creating a space that that was for artists and about creativity, you were kind of drawing people out. People who hadn't had space to sort of do things in their own community for a long time, and it was it wasn't being offered. And so that sort of that's a huge sort of a huge impact, and real reason why it's important. Also, I just think you continue to sort of create a unique space. I think that people who are trying to sort of grow their communities by creating another sort of Anywhere America, they're just doing it wrong. I think that it's you're not going to get very far. You know, if you think that you've got a distressed community and you need another Panera or a Starbucks, you know, it's like it just doesn't. I don't think that's going to be a real game changer for people. And sort of, if you want to create a unique environment, it's like it's about attracting sort of really unique businesses and creating sort of unique spaces. And art does that, you know, always.